Michigan got its man. Now he's a Michigan man. They did it again. 5-star offensive tackle Ty Haywood. He was the top unsigned player in the country for the class of 2025. And he announced on Wednesday morning he's going to Michigan. So this is, Sherron Moore got the best player available in early signing period with Bryce Underwood. He got the best player available here in this signing period. 5 stars all across the board, right? He's a former Alabama commit. And he decided, even though he gave a verbal commit to Alabama in the summertime, he never signed when signing day came in December, came and went. And so he was out there, and Michigan jumped on it. So this caps off a stellar recruiting class for Sherron Moore. Haywood, he's 6'5", he's 285 pounds. He hails from Denton, Texas, and now he'll be singing Hail to the Victors. And he was also considering Florida State and Texas Tech a little closer to home. And again, this is the second time that Sherron Moore's done this. And, December, he flipped the number one player in the country. Not the number one quarterback, the number one player in the country, and 5-star quarterback Bryce Underwood flipped him from LSU at the last second, along with, $12 million in name, image, and likeness money. That'll always help a little bit too. And then now during this late or traditional signing period, he lands Haywood, who was the best available player in the country for this go-around. Overall, he was the class of 2025's third-ranked offensive tackle and 16th highest-ranked player in the country. But waited till now to sign. He's going to Michigan. Overall, the Wolverines signed 11 top 300 recruits from 2025, including 8 of the top 100. Killer deal. Great job by Sherron Moore. And, it didn't start out that way. Sherron Moore in Michigan got off to kind of a slow start with this recruiting class. Back in October, they only had four blue chippers committed to Michigan. And look, you can't underestimate the role that getting Bryce Underwood to flip from LSU had on all this. You can bring in a number one quarterback like that. Other guys are going to want to gravitate to that and play with a guy like that because they know they're going to win. And, you can have money and location and sunshine and big crowds and all that. But at the end, guys want to win football games. That's never going to change. So it's a strong close for Sherron Moore. This is his first full recruiting cycle as a head coach at Michigan since he took over for Jim Harbaugh. So with the strong finish, they're up there. Yesterday on our podcast, we listed 24/7's top 10 power rankings for recruiting classes across the country. It's worth another look real quick. Texas 1, Georgia 2. Ohio State right there at number 3. Remember Tavian St. Clair. They got their own 5-star quarterback there. Alabama 4. Oregon rounding out the top 5. Dan Lanning, another solid class coming in. Auburn at 6. And then Michigan is ranked 7th. Again, with Bryce Underwood. And, of course, the announcement this week that Haywood is coming as well. So just squarely right in there, up into the top 10 for Michigan with their ranking class. Florida 8, Texas A&M 9, LSU 10, in case you're curious about all that. In other Big Ten recruiting news, and this one did not get a lot of headlines, but it harkens back to my day with the player that I used to watch back in the day. Hall of Famer quarterback Ryken Moon. Remember him at Washington? His son, Ryken, going to follow his father's footsteps and commit to his dad's alma mater. He's going to Washington. The Washington Huskies. He's going to be a preferred walk-on for Jed Fish's team. So he's not, he's not what his dad was. In fact, he's 5'11", 200 pounds. And I think he's 4 or 5 inches shorter and 200 pounds smaller than his dad was. But he's a two-way player from Seattle. He's a good player. And, I always remember Ryken Moon, because remember, Washington was not obviously in the Big Ten. They were a Pac-10 school back when I was growing up and taking on Michigan in the Rose Bowl. Of course, I was rooting for Michigan. Ryken Moon was fabulous that day. Huskies won 27-20 in the 1978 Rose Bowl. I remember it. Now, the younger Moon, in a 2023 playoff game, rushed for 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also intercepted 3 passes in a 49-7 win. Again, both sides of the ball. He did have offers from Army and Air Force in Arizona and Nevada. Penn State was interested in him. and also Rice. But yeah, going to go to Washington. That'll be cool. See if he develops a little bit. On to hoops real quick. Following Tuesday night's Michigan State loss at UCLA, got beat by a bucket. It's 2 losses in a row for Sparty. And Tom Izzo is still stuck at 1 win away from matching Bob Knight's all-time Big Ten wins record. The Spartans' next chance will be at home on Saturday when they host Oregon. And Michigan State's game after the Ducks roll into town is going to be against Indiana. So Izzo could either tie or break Bob Knight's record against Knight's former school, Indiana. Keep an eye out on that. But you know what? Look, Michigan State won 13 in a row. They go out west. That's tough. It's tough going out west. Had trouble with USC and UCLA. By the way, quick note on UCLA. They're the hottest team in the Big Ten right now. They've won 6 in a row. And this streak came after their head coach, Mick Cronin. Remember, he went public, scorched earth on his team, called him soft in public in the press conference. Really mad at him. Must have worked. They're red hot right now. They've won every game since. We'll see if it works for Mike Woodson in Indiana. He kind of said the same thing about the Hoosiers, who struggled again. Man, tough start against Wisconsin. What was it, 19-2 out of the box? So they're not playing very well. They've dropped 4 in a row. Yeah, they were down 19-2 with 4.5 minutes ago, and 26-4 7 minutes into the game. It's just a horrible game by the Hoosiers. And so Mike Woodson came out afterward and said that his team is they're soft. He criticized everybody's defense, as he should, especially his bigs. They're running out of time, running out of games. They got to get it turned around. Speaking of hoops, tonight, Thursday night, men's 18th ranked Maryland at Ohio State, 7 p.m. FS1. Tonight, a good slate of women's games. Rutgers is at Indiana, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Northwestern is at Illinois, 7 p.m. Big Ten Plus. Michigan is at Nebraska. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Game on Peacock. Iowa's at Minnesota. That's at 8 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. And 16th ranked Maryland is at Oregon. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, FS1 tonight. Check it out. All right. A couple things I want to do here. We always do certain features at the end of our podcast. If you're new, we're getting so many new people every day. Thank you very much for that. At the end of Monday's podcast, we always do my top 10 Big Ten observations from the weekend. Tuesdays, we do Tuesday tweets. Hit us up on Twitter at Talk Big Ten, X, if you want to call it. We pull tweets from there all the time, put them up, makes a great segment. Wednesdays, we like to power rank things, as we alluded to a minute ago. Thursdays, we look at the Big Ten Network, their schedule, the Big Ten Classics and live action. We are not affiliated with the Big Ten Network. We obviously have a lot of the same interests, so I'm going to highlight the schedule of what you can watch on the Big Ten Network this weekend around the Super Bowl. I know you're going to watch that. So we'll put that out there. And then Friday, we make our picks, by the way. Basketball, football, whatever season it is, we make our picks. We go on the record. We're not afraid of that here. So take a look at Big Ten Classics and live action. That's coming up in 1 minute right here on Locked On Big Ten. PrizePicks. This is fun. This is great. No better way to make it even more exciting watching games than with PrizePicks, and the best place for daily fantasy sports. Over 10 million members and billions in winnings awarded. PrizePicks makes it fun and simple to get into the action. Here's how it works. You pick some players, as few as 2, want some more, and then you say more than or less than with some stats, some projected stats for an upcoming game. Put them all together, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. PrizePicks even has a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw 1 yard to win. That's happening. So pair that with one more correct pick, and you can cash it out. It's that simple. So check it out. Check out the promos tab, and you can tail any of the super sweet Millie winners, the big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. Boom. All right. So download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, Run your game.